Hello everyone, Jake here with Bearded Gear. Today I've got a bit of an odd one to show you. This knife I actually won in a giveaway, which is pretty cool. Shout out to Advanced Knife Bro. It was a while ago, but finally getting around to making a video about it. This knife is called the Summit Half Dome. You might notice that it is an oddly shaped, very different looking knife. This knife is manufactured by Fox Knives, which is awesome. They're a great manufacturer. I've owned a couple knives manufactured by Fox, and they have done really well. The blade steel is M390. It's got this super interesting shape on it with a, I don't know whether you call that a sheep's foot, a Wharncliffe, a drop point, a reverse tanto. It's kind of a mix of all of them, but it's got some flat and some belly, which I like. It's got this hole here to open up. It is a little bit sharp in there, one thing I would change. But overall, this has been a really cool knife. Something that I wasn't expecting to like as much as I do. This version is the full titanium frame lock. They're all titanium frame locks, I believe, but some of them have a different material show scale. So you can get it in micarta. I think you might be able to get it in carbon or G10. They've got a couple handle materials. And then a lot of them also have a wire clip on the back. This one being the full titanium version is the heaviest, and it gets this fancy titanium pocket clip. It sticks out a little bit with the pocket clip in. You can see it's not exactly deep carry, but it's been a good clip. It actually pockets really well. It's got a good amount of space. It's got this cool, I think, ceramic ball there at the end, so your pants slide right into it very well. I've worn it with jeans, with chinos, with slacks, and it's done great. The knife is small enough that on some of my pants I can even get it in for just a 5th pocket carry, which is awesome. A lot of the time I like to carry a secondary knife, especially if I'm carrying something super fancy. Judge me if you will, but if I'm carrying like the Conigarius I used to have, I didn't like to cut with that knife all the time unless I needed to. In fact, I was pretty picky about what I would cut with it, just because it was the most expensive knife I had owned up to that point. So it's really nice when you've got something else in your pocket. If you need to cut something that's dirty or gross or whatever it is, or even if somebody else is asking to borrow a knife, it's easy to say, yep, here, use this one. This knife isn't cheap by any means. I think they retail a little under 200 bucks. I might be wrong on that. But because I won it in a giveaway, I didn't buy it with my own money, and I don't know exactly how much it cost. But what I can say is that it's really cool, and I've been surprised with how good it is for cutting tasks. It's got this really great full flat grind. I guess there's a tiny bit of a flat up there just above it, but it's about as close as you can get to a full flat grind without being a full flat grind. It's full flat up here, but anyways, being M390, I've never sharpened or stropped this, and I've used it a surprising amount, and the edge is just perfect still. It's been fantastic going through all kinds of cardboard. I've probably hit staples with it. It's been awesome. It seems like they nailed the heat treat. The blade shape is a little interesting, but I've found it's remarkably useful, especially for EDC type tasks, going through cardboard boxes and opening packages and stuff like that. This is a great knife for opening up mail calls. But yeah, it's just been surprisingly effective with that blade shape. You would think, why not just have an actual proper tip on there or go full Wharncliffe, or, you know, they've kind of done this weird in-between thing, but it really works, and I feel like it makes the knife unique, and people pause when they look at it and they like it. I find that it goes really well in my hands. My pinky doesn't quite have the real estate to fit on, but it's not an uncomfortable spot for it to land just behind the butt there. This kind of swell here makes me feel really locked in to the knife, and it's got good jimping up on the spine, right where my thumb wants to land, and it has jimping here, right at the base of the handle, kind of where it meets the tang of the blade. And that jimping is fantastic. It's crowned really well. All the edges are chamfered really well. So there's no hot spots, nothing that's burning up my hand while I'm on it. And when I'm pushing through even a bunch of cardboard, something like that, and really working this knife, I've found that it stays locked in really well, and that it just performs. The titanium has stood up pretty well. It does have a couple of snail trails on it. Some of those are from Advanced Knife Bro, which I appreciate that I got the knife that he actually used in the video. I think that was cool. I've been watching his videos for a really long time. But yeah, this is just a super cool Italian-made, quirky little M390, almost 5th pocket small knife. it's done really well for me. I believe because they call it the Half Dome, that is a nod to Half Dome in Yosemite. In fact, it has Half Dome coordinates on it, right there inscribed on the blade. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, it's just a really funky knife, and I figured it deserves a spotlight. And if you're interested in this knife and you're looking at it, I can absolutely recommend it. It's been cool, it's been different, it's been fun. If you're someone like me who has a lot of different knives and is always buying and selling and trading knives, and a lot of knives are just kind of in rotation for you, and you like to experience new and different things, this is one of those new and different things, without being so different that it's unusable. Even though this knife is quirky and it's totally different from anything else in my knife collection at the moment, it works like a normal knife, and it goes in my hand like a normal knife. And in fact, it's been a joy to use and to work with, and yeah, it's just been fantastic. So definitely recommend the Half Dome Summit Half Dome. The Summit Half Dome.